Let me ask you a question. Are you called? Frederick Buechner once said about calling this. He said, "It's the place where our deep passion meets the world's great needs." And while I deeply appreciate Frederick Buechner, I think this quote has done a whole lot to overcomplicate calling. For it makes us think of calling as something that's huge and big, like a Mother Teresa sort of calling, that we'd be moving to a foreign country and giving ourselves in some way, and she definitely had a calling. But what we find in Scripture is something much more attainable and simple and straightforward. Matthew 4, Jesus calls his first disciples. And you know what he asked them to do? Well, let me tell you, he didn't ask them to make a profession of faith. He didn't ask them to move to a foreign country. He didn't ask for any big sacrifice. What he did ask for them is to follow me. That's calling at its core. It's responding to Jesus' invitation to follow him. And as they followed him, they began to see what Jesus did and where he went and how he thought. And as they did that, they were responding to his calling and they became more like him. They were able to imitate him. And what they found is that as they responded to Jesus' calling, moment by moment, he led them to the places that they need to be. He led them to the things that they needed to be about. He led them to the big and grand things because they were faithful in the very small, ordinary things. That's what calling's all about. Are you called? Absolutely you are. And rather than worry about what the big picture needs to look like and where God's calling is and what you need to be investing your life in, may I suggest that you respond to Jesus' call today in the very simple things of life. Maybe your calling is to smile at the person who is behind the meat counter at Kroger. And maybe they just desperately need to know that they're seen and valued. Maybe your call today is to be with a friend who's having a difficult time, or be with a friend who is absolutely celebrating a huge achievement, and to be able to celebrate and to assure them that they don't go through this alone, that God is with them. Whatever it is that you're called to, if we'll be faithful in the small, he'll lead us to exactly the places that we need to be, when we need to be there, and he'll give us the resources, whatever it is, for that moment, to be his love and to share his goodness. Are you called? You bet you're called. I pray that we will be faithful to answer God in the very small ways this day, knowing that he's going to lead us forward to exactly where we need to be and who we need to be with. I hope you have a great day.